What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of Pips and Points. I'm your host, Jono, and today we're going to be talking about what we always talk about, which is the NAS100. Now, before I go into all of the good stuff, first I want to say a big special shout out to all my Piptonites. These awesome human beings are my subscribers. Guys, you are the best. Much appreciation and love to you all. The second shout out goes to the new guy. I welcome you to Pips and Points. On this channel, we mainly talk about the NAS100, basically how I personally plan to navigate the NAS in the coming days and weeks. In doing so, you may find some opportunities, tips yourself that you could use, okay? If you do use anything that we talk about in this video, you do so at your own risk, because it is important that I let you know that I am not a financial advisor and I'm not giving you financial advice. This is purely a video based on how I'm going to be obviously navigating the NAS, and sometimes I get it right and sometimes I get it wrong. Okay, so with that said, we're just going to get straight into it, right? So first things first, let's go in, just turn on all the work that we did from Monday. All right, so Monday I put in a sell order that I was talking to you guys about on the Monday video. I actually created a thumb to say, hey, I'm selling the NAS, but I had to get rid of that just because it seemed like I was advising, so the thumb was a bit misleading, so I had to get rid of that and just put in the standard thumbs, which is NAS100 analysis. All right, but I tell you what happened with that trade. I actually got closed out, right? So what happened was I entered the trade at a very bad spot, but I didn't really care too much about it. But I actually did entered into the trade at a really bad location. So if I go into it right now, I'll show you exactly what I did, right? So it was around about this area where I entered the trade, around about this area right here. And when I was making the video, it was in a little bit of profit, tiny bit of profit, okay? And I was like, don't want to bring in my trailing stop, which I should have brought in my trailing stop, because then I would not have taken that small L that I took. It was a small L, but in this game, you kind of want to avoid taking L's whenever possible, okay? So I got closed out, and I got closed out yesterday. So yesterday I got closed out, and then I thought, you know what should I do? What should I do? Right? So I didn't do anything. So I thought to myself, what should I do? So I thought, okay, cool. I'm just going to wait to see if market begins to pull back down again, right? And then we take it from there. And just as I was thinking that, the alert that I had set up at this level, which is, it was around 12377.99. I've actually moved it around, so I don't really know where I actually set it, but I set the alert around that level, to be fair, around that level. So what happened was, obviously it got triggered over here. So once it was triggered at this level, I knew that price was going to be reversing and going into an uptrend. But before it went into an uptrend, it was going to pull back. This is the pullback we're looking at right now, okay? So what I then did was I waited for price to break this level. So let me get rid of all of these, because we know we're in the trade here. So I'm actually actively in the trade. We're in profit right now. I brought in a trailing stop. So I'm going to delete these. I'm just going to delete this, but I'll bring it back. Right, so so I saw price had broken below this level. So I saw that price had broken below this level right here. So once I saw price had broken below this level, I took this wick in the trade. So I took this wick right here in the trade, right at the top of it. That was when I jumped in, right? And I've been riding it since. I have my trailing stop, I think it's somewhere around this level, somewhere up here somewhere. So it's around 12.0 31.22. So that's where my trading stop is sitting at the moment. All right, and my TP. So if we bring this back, my TP is around this level, near about. So it's around 11.59.1.11. All right. So I have a feeling that price is going to go down to that level, and then once it gets to that level, all right, there is a very good chance it's going to begin its push to its upside. But also, in saying that, there is also a good chance that price may start to bounce from this level, right? It's kind of broken through it at the moment, but around about this zone, okay, price could begin to push back up, creating for us a new higher low in regards to the shape that we've got going on right here. It could actually do that, and should it do that, then we know that there's a very good chance that price is going to be pushing up some more, okay, and it's going to take us up, possibly up to the top of this structure over here, right? So that's what I think could happen. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm holding the trade. I'm going to hold it obviously overnight, see what happens in the morning, and if it's still pushing down, great. If it's closed me out, fine, okay, because whatever loss I took on Monday, I've actually made it back. I've made back double what I've lost in this trade I'm currently in right now, and I've already secured in my profits with a trailing stop. So we're all good, everything is perfect. This is exactly how I like to trade, in this style. Now before I go into the next part, okay, if you're watching this channel for the very first time, watching this video for the very first time, finding out about Pips and Points for the very first time, okay, and you want to see more of these type of analysis, okay, just hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification, so whenever I release a video, you would be amongst one of the first to see it, because the videos are time sensitive. I record them, edit them on the day, and post them up on the same day. Okay, that's what we do, right? Or if you can't even be bothered to do any of that, just give us a like. That would do. All right, so with that covered, okay, now we're going to get into this. So this is a little thing that I found out on TradingView the other day, the heat map, and look at this. Everything on here is flaming red. There's only a handful of greens right now, just a handful of greens, but it looks terrible. It actually looks terrible. But it looks great if you're selling. I mean, for me, it's fantastic because I'm selling. But if you're buying, yeah, this is absolutely terrible. So this is what we've got going on at the moment. You know, Microsoft is down 4.77%. Google 3.93, Apple 5.64, Amazon 7.16, Tesla 6.80, Facebook 5.12, Nvidia 6.82, and the list goes on. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this little trick. I think it looks kind of cool. I think I might actually use this as a thumb. Yeah, I think I might just use this as a thumb. We see how it goes. But okay, so let's just jump back into this for a minute. So we're going to jump back into the NAS, right? So we can see exactly what's going on. Everything is red. But what we want to do is we want to look into this into greater detail, right? So first things first, we're just going to look at Tesla, see what's going on there. Okay, so Tesla has broken through. I thought it was going to go all the way up, but it's broken through. Okay, hence why we got the red that we're getting at the moment, and obviously I'm very happy about that. I'm not gonna lie, I am. Okay, and then we've got Google, and now Google looks like it's going to be doing what we drew out over here. It looks like it's actually going to be doing it, right? But let's see if it does or if it doesn't. But it's looking like it, right? It could actually level off at this level and then begin to push up, but only time will tell. So we wait and see. As a matter of fact, I actually had this on the wrong settings, so let's put it back correctly on the day. Let's zoom in on that. Yep, and as you can see, it is actually beginning to push down. Let's see what it does at this level, if it's going to break through, and we will find out about that tomorrow, okay? And we'll talk about that on Friday's video. So let's look at Tesla again, because we were looking at that previously on the hourly. So on the day, we can see we have a massive bearish candle pushing to the downside, okay? It's yet to break below this level. If it does, we know it's going to be going lower, and we can expect the NAS to produce a new lower low. And in regards to the NAS, this is the zone that we're talking about if it pushes down lower. So this is it right here, and we're expecting the NAS to go down to that. So if Tesla continues to push down, we know it's heading to that zone that I believe it was going to go to. And if Google continues to push down, then we can expect it to go down into that zone. But we need more confirmation for the rest from the rest of these stocks to give us that certainty that that is what is going to happen. Okay. Now, if you look at Amazon, Amazon has broken a consolidation structure, right? And that is it right here. And that is it right here. It's actually broken that, and now it's coming through. But in saying that, it's now parallel with this. So let's see if it breaks through this level, and if it does, then we know there's a very good chance we're going to get a much lower low in regards to what's going on with the NAS. And then we look at Netflix, and Netflix too is beginning to push down. So Netflix is going down as well. But however, this shape that is holding right now, I always like to say it has a very good chance of breaking to the upside. A very good chance of breaking to the upside. But let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. And just to repeat what I normally say in regards to the shape, so you normally get something like this, where it will just bounce around in this zone for a bit, and then it will then shoot up. So that's what I think we're going to be getting from Netflix. But for the meantime, it's pushing down. And if you're selling the market like I'm selling the market, this structure is what you want to see, right? You want to see that. Okay, Apple too has broken. It has broken a consolidation structure, and it's now flying down. But it's looking just like Amazon in terms of it's leveling off between these two. So we now need to see if this bearish candle is going to break below, and if it does, then we can expect a much bigger fall from the NAS. All these things are good for us if we're selling the market. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook right now too has broken a structure, okay? But the thing with Facebook that makes it quite interesting is that it's gone into a squeeze. So this is how the squeeze is looking. It's looking something like this. So the question that we need to ask ourselves is, what direction is it going to spill in? And what direction is it going to spill into? Is it going to spill down, or is it going to push up, right? And because we don't know. Reason being is there is a high here and there's a lower high, and there's a lower low here and there's this higher low over here. So it's squeezing together. So you don't really know what direction is going to move in at all. These types of structures are very, very tricky to trade, and I tend to avoid them when I see them appear. I just leave them alone because it's too difficult to guess. But there are people that are successful in trading them though. There actually are people that know what they're doing when they see a structure like that. Me personally, I'm not at that level yet. Hopefully one day I will be. So we're seeing the same thing with Microsoft. So we're on Microsoft right now. And Microsoft 2, a consolidation structure, which is this, has been broken. So we now have this push to the downside. And this push to the downside is neck and neck. It's almost neck and neck with this, as you can see. So we're waiting for now to see if Microsoft is going to break to the downside, because that too will reinforce our decision making in regards to selling the NAS. And also bear in mind, all of these push to the downside, at some point they're going to have to start going up, okay? And where it is, when it starts to push up, is what is really going to help us in terms of making sure we get the absolute best position we can in regards to the NAS. So we look at NVIDIA, we've got the same kind of shape. I'm not going to draw it this time because this time, I mean, if you're new to this, I want to try to help you so you can spot the structure yourself. So when you go to other charts and you're looking at it, you can actually spot the structure when you see it. So as you can see, it's just that little, you just draw a line from the bottom all the way to the top, and you can see this is what cuts through. So we've got this parabolic bearish candle pushing down now, which is considered a high according to the MACD, but it is pushing down because we have a higher high and we have a lower high right here. So now let's look at Pepsi. And Pepsi is more or less doing the same thing, but it hasn't broken the structure yet, but it's about to. You can see from this wick over here, it's lower than this one, right? So let's zoom in closer so I can better explain what I'm trying to say. So we can see that this structure is about to break, just like all the other ones that we've seen. Why do I say that? Because this candle is lower than this one, and you've got a traditional telltale sign, which is a doji up here. It doesn't always appear, but sometimes it does. And how it's appeared in comparison to this lets me know that this red is going to get a lot bigger. So we're going to get the same sort of shape. So these ones are harder to spot, so I'll help you out and I'll just draw the line straight through it. So as you can see, this is what is happening. So say for example, if I was to see this structure, I don't know, something like this on any type of, say, forex pairs or in a NAS, right? That would tell me that there's a good chance that if I sold, it will go my way. Not guaranteed, not a given, because it could push up. This too could be a consolidation to push upwards, right? So this could be this, which is also important to note as well. This too could be a little consolidation, right? And if we go in on the hourly, you see how it fits in. So that's the first trend up here, right? So this is the first one, the first trend, and this is the second if we think it's going to push to the upside. So in these situations, you wait for the break. Wait for the break of the structure before you do anything. That would be my advice in regards to that. And then we've got Pepsi. And like I was saying in all the videos, okay, so if you went into all the videos, the last 4 videos, when I started talking about this Pepsi structure, look, this is what I said was going to happen, and look what's happened. The only thing that didn't happen was I thought it was going to level off at this. I was going to level off at this level right here, which was around 177.01. Right, but look at that, it's broken through and now it's flying down, and the good place for it to stop will be right here, which will be 153.63. okay, so let's look at EA. And EA is now looking like it's about to go into an up. This first bullish wick, so let me zoom in a little bit on this for you. So this first bullish wick right here, okay, did not close above this high. It wicked through, but it did not close, right? So with that, we wouldn't consider this as anything. We'll just say it's just doing its thing. Now this wick that we got going on right here, we want to see what this does. If this wick closes above, and say we see another wick open and close above this, there's one thing that we should have in mind: a consolidation or a pullback in regards to EA, right? One of the two will happen, and once it does, that would be the perfect time to jump in for a buy to the upside. So where can we expect it to land at? I will expect it to land at 117.74. Okay, and then you could ride it to see how high it's going to go before you jump off. I'm not actually getting into EA, but if I was going to get into EA, that is what I do. That is what I would do. And then we have eBay, and eBay too is pushing downwards. Okay, so what does that tell me about the overall position of the NAS? It basically tells me that tomorrow I can expect a continuation of the red, right? I can expect a continuation of the red, which basically means we're going to be getting close to this trend line over here. We're going to be getting very close to this zone right here. Very close to that zone right here. And once we get into that zone, right, and then there is a very high probability from this location that price is going to begin to push up to get to this particular level on top of this structure right here. And why do I think it's going to go to the top of this structure right here? Because if I actually, there's no we here, it's just me, right? So if I use this as a guide, okay, this is a high. So this level right here is a high, and it will make sense for it to go here and pull down, and that also falls in line with this overall structure in regards to the NAS. Because let's not forget one thing about what's going on with the NAS right now. It is in a downtrend. It's not in an uptrend. It is in a downtrend, and I am looking for buys in a downtrend, which is something that is always recommended you don't do. But me personally, I'm looking at the opportunities of what I could get should I catch it down here somewhere and it breaks above this whole structure and rise up to the upside. One move will give me a very big reward. Set and forget. That's what I want to do. That is what my heart is set on, and that is what I'm looking out for. But however, when opportunities come up to sales and I feel comfortable in selling it, then I will sell. It's not every sell I jump in on. Sometimes I'm not confident about how it looks and I'll just leave it alone. And where I'm confident, I'll jump in. It's just how it goes. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. Sometimes even when you're confident, you get it right. You get it wrong. And sometimes when you're a little bit shaky about it, you get it right. But the main thing is that if you use the correct risk management, it's not really about how many times you get it right, okay? It's about when you get it right, what do you get? If you catch my meaning. So for example, if it takes you, say, 5 losses to, if one win it's an equivalent of 5 losses, that's how you want to play it. So every time you win, right, you've won 5 times. And every time you lose, you've only lost out of 1 out of that. So you have to lose back to back 5 times in a row for your account to actually start going negative. If you look at it in that way, you're always going to be on top in regards to how you trade. So there are different ways in how people obviously showcase how they trade. Sometimes they show you a strategy, and the thing that I find with strategies, especially when you're learning, is that strategies are only usually good for one type of condition, right? So there is a specific condition that must appear, and that appears very, very rarely. It's not often at all. So why a channel like this I think is useful for everyone, okay, is that you're watching the flow in different strategies being used in real time. So it's not just one strategy I use multiple strategies to get on the right side of the market, right? And that's the thing that you guys want to get your head around if you don't know anything about this stuff at all. Hence why technical analysis is like the diamond standard of trading. And if you add fundamentals into it as well, you know about the fundamentals too, then it's like, it's just a matter of time until you can call yourself a sheikh, you know what I mean, and buy yourself an island somewhere. So like I said, I think the NAS is going to be pushing down some more, roughly into this zone right here, okay? It could be today, it could be tomorrow, We just have to wait and see. All right. So with that said, I want to thank you for coming over and watching another episode of Pips and Points. And if you're new and you want to see more content just like this, focus on one asset class, the NAS100, this is the right place to be. Hit the subscribe button so whenever I release videos, and I release videos on Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, I might actually bring in a weekend when I will do a back test on the NAS. So actually, yeah, guys, let me know if you'd be interested in watching me do a back test on the NAS100 over the weekend. It's a weekend video. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. If you are, then I'll do one over the weekend for you guys. I won't do it this weekend because I'm working on something for you guys to actually help you guys out. What it is I want to do is I want to find a beautiful way to present to you all the books that I've been reading to help me get to where I am right now, so that you can go and get those books for yourself, right? I just don't want to just post like unlimited amount of links on them in the description of this YouTube. I could do that, but it's just messy. I mean, you're clicking here, like it's messy. So I just want to pull it all in one place. You click the link in the description, you go to this one specific place, everything is all laid out, organized for you nicely, and you can just bookmark that page and just keep it there somewhere. You can refer to back at a later date, or you can just click around and do what you need to do on there. But either way, I just want to make something really nice and beautiful for you guys, and something that doesn't require me to be maintaining it and doing all this stuff and buying certificates and all the rest of the stuff like you need for a website. I'm thinking of doing something like this on a blog. Just post it up, post everything up very nice on one blog page, and then let you guys do what you need to do with it. All right, so I got to figure out how I'm going to get that all organized, but I'm kind of working on that. I was going to get somebody on Fiverr to do it for me, but I think whatever I tell them, they're going to turn around and say I need to buy a website, and I don't want to get a website. I actually don't. I just want to use the tools that is out there and just set it up and just leave it as that. You know what I mean? I can just set and forget, and it could just stay there forever, literally. So I got to figure out how I'm going to do this, because I'm kind of good at these stuff, these kind of things. So I should be able to figure it out. So once that's done, I'll let you guys know. Hopefully I'll have it done over the weekend, and I can tell you guys where to go and check this out on the Monday's video, all being well. Right? With that said and done, I want to thank you all for coming over. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, drop a like, and drop a comment if you want to see me do back testing on the weekends. If you do, great. If you don't, fine. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, which will be on Friday. So for now, this is Jono signing out.